You guys know me. I try to stay positive these days for Microsoft and for Sony. It's just how I try to be nowadays, right? Like there was a point in my life where I was hyper focused on negativity, you know. But now I'm much more in a place where I can be happy and look at the positive side of things and things like that. But that doesn't mean that I won't speak my mind or that there won't be any negative videos. In particular, this video is something that's bad that's happened from Sony, and you know, some people have certain ways of looking at things versus me. And listen, I think that there's no perfect company, there's no perfect platform. When it comes to video games, things are always going to be in flux and always evolving because we as people always evolve and we're always in flux, right? So what worked 15 years ago doesn't work now, and what worked 5 years ago probably won't even work right now. So we do have this to kind of look at, and then we look at these types of announcements and we go, okay, well, I can see where something like this would be looked at as a bit of a negative, and I hope that Sony rectifies this situation before too long, because these are the types of things that could really scar your platform and your brand, you know. And if you don't believe me, look no further than what happened to the Xbox One, right? Everybody was riding high on that Xbox train, right? Everybody loves Xbox. Everybody thought Xbox was the greatest thing. Xbox 360 was the platform for the developers. It was pop culture. Everybody loved Xbox. They did, flat out. Then what happened? You come out, you mess up a little bit with your reveal and things like that. People hate Xbox. Even to this day, there's people that still hate Xbox because of that 2013 reveal. And people just are like, TV, 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 no used games, blah, blah, blah. People didn't care that, you know, we didn't know the full information or anything like that. Or that even right now, we're pretty much always connected with our consoles. People didn't care about any of that stuff, right? People just kind of hopped on that. Once that hate train starts rolling, it doesn't stop rolling. And that's something that I think Microsoft kind of regrets. But again, if the Xbox One managed to be a success, even if not as successful as PS4, let's say the Xbox One sold, you know, 85 million units. Would we have gotten the things that we got now? Would we have gotten Game Pass? Would we have gotten more powerful consoles? Would they still be using Kinect? Like, those are the things that I kind of ask myself when it comes to these types of questions and answers. And, you know, listen, I don't really know, but I do know that I'm kind of thankful that they go through hell, because then we get the better end of the deal later on, right? If they didn't go through all that, would they have bought all the studios that they did? They literally were down to like 4 studios, you know, Mojang, 343, Coalition, and let me think. Of course, they have Turn 10. So they basically had 4 studios. And, you know, when I look at that and I look at it where they're at now, where if this Activision deal closes in the next 30 days like it's supposed to, they're going to have 34 studios. 30 more studios. Would they have done that if things had been different? I don't know. But I want to get into this bit of Sony news. Hopefully you guys stick around. It's going to be a good video. Now listen, I understand that bad things can happen with these consoles. Anything can happen. But now it looks like there is a class action lawsuit against Sony that says the company's concealing gaming console crashes and shutdown defects. So according to this, a PlayStation owner is doing a class action lawsuit against Sony. Says that there is a defect in the PlayStation 5 video game system. According to this, which I will link this in the description, of course, it says that Sony knowingly conceals a defect in the PlayStation 5 video game system that causes the system to suddenly crash while users are playing games. A new class action lawsuit has actually alleged. A plaintiff has filed the class action lawsuit against Sony Corporation of America July 12th in an Illinois federal court, alleging violations of state and federal consumer law. According to the complaint, the PS5 contains a defect that causes the console to suddenly power down while the user is playing video games, often losing saved data. While the PS5 can be used for many entertainment purposes, playing video games on the console is the primary function, according to the plaintiff. The console defect affects users' ability to play video games and compromises the primary function and overall usage of the PlayStation 5 console. They allege that Sony was aware of the console defect through warranty repair requests, online consumer complaints, and its own online service resources. However, despite its knowledge of the console defect, defendant failed to and continues to fail to disclose the defect to consumers prior to them purchasing a PS5, nor has defendant taken any substantial action to remedy the problems. Sony has sold millions of defective PS5s according to this lawsuit. Since its launch in late 2020, Sony has sold more than 19 million units of the system worldwide. Before its release, Sony advertised the console was coming equipped with lightning speed, breathtaking immersion, and stunning games. However, months after Trejo bought hers at Walmart for $499 plus tax, the console began to constantly crash. If she and others had known about the defect, they wouldn't have bought the PS5 or they would have paid less. They seek to represent customers nationwide who bought a PlayStation 5 in the United States, plus an Illinois subclass, suing for violations of the Illinois consumer laws and for breach warranty and unjust enrichment. They're seeking certification of the class action, damages, fees, costs, and a jury trial. This is not the first lawsuit the company has faced, however, over its controllers. Last year, Sony was hit with a lawsuit alleging it knowingly sells PS5 with defective controllers that drift in-game without prompting. Meanwhile, Amazon is also facing a class action suit for knowingly selling defective PS5 consoles on its online marketplace as well. So this is all very interesting. And again, you know, what does this mean? Does this mean that for sure that this is something that Sony did and negligible with? You know, I don't really know. But what I do know is that there is a certain level of, I want to say, defective that is allowed in different platforms and things like that. So we do have that to kind of look at, and we do have to kind of look at that from a perspective and say, you know, maybe this person just got a bum console, right? There's actually an allowed amount of consoles that are allowed to, you know, I guess be defective. Every electronic that ever has come out has some kind of defective nature to it that realistically, to be honest with you, is allowed to be there. You know, it's unfortunate, and maybe Sony should fix this for this particular individual. But at the same time, you know, when I look at this and I go, okay, well, you know, have I had problems with the PS5? I have. In particular, I had major problems with the situation with the hard drive, right? When the hard drive started to kind of go on mine and I replaced it, mine bricked. I've had a couple of those issues, but since then it's been fine. Sometimes it's user error. Sometimes these things come unplugged or whatever prior to like getting an update or during an update, which can cause issues. And so I'm not making excuses for Sony, but you know, hopefully they can fix this for this individual and get these things kind of worked out. For me personally, I don't know if it's an issue that is legit, that's like causing millions of people problems like stated, because I think we would probably hear a little bit about that, you know, and we haven't really heard anything so far about that. So, you know, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I would love your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. What's your take? Is Sony responsible for this? Is this some kind of heinous act on their part? Let me know. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. If you guys do enjoy my videos, please leave a like on it. It helps it to be seen, and it helps the channel to grow. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thank you so much for watching. Crap Gamer out.